my friends, colleagues, students call me Oksana Chugai or just teacher. Please, next slide. Okay, have a look at this slide and maybe you will guess what my presentation is about. There are three parts in my presentation. Number one, yellow and blue. The second, 4 years. And the third part, KPI. So it's kind of a riddle. If you know the answer, number one, yellow and blue, or just guess what it is about, what I am going to tell you about. It's something connected with colors, yellow and blue. So please, your guess.
Flag.
Flag of
Ukraine.
Flag of Ukraine.
Flag of Ukraine.
Flag of Ukraine.
Flag of Ukraine, wonderful. Thank you, Arvind. It's your job.
Yes.
Oh, it's so cute. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you are right. You are right. Maybe because the sky is blue and the fields are yellow. Maybe that's why our flag is yellow and blue. Okay. What about the second? Arvind, may you come back to the previous slide? 4 years. It will be more difficult to guess.
Okay.
Try to guess what I will tell you about the second part of my presentation. It's related to me, to my life. 4 years. Can you guess what it may be? Connected.
4 years as
You were
teacher.
English teacher.
As
You are
teacher.
English teacher.
Job.
No.
For me,
No.
You were life.
It's more than 4 years. It's
for me,
practically.
Russia.
What is it? Could you repeat
War.
that? Work? No, it's not work. It's not about work. It's about
Education.
Education? No, not education. It's about the place where I live. Okay, so I will tell you more a bit later. And what about number 3, KPI? What is it?
The beautiful
Can you
place
guess?
of Ukraine. The beautiful.
Could you repeat that? KPI, it's an acronym. So one letter stands for one word. Your guesses?
About
K
Russia.
may be what? P may be what? Which word it may be? I may be which word?
Something place.
A place of Ukraine.
Place. Something place.
Place in Ukraine. Okay, it is the name of the place. But
University.
Kimi.
Exactly. Good job. It is the name of the university I work at. Okay, good. So let's move on. Thank you very much. Okay, please let's move on. Arvind, please, next slide. Next slide. Yeah, so is the flag, where Ukraine is. Let's have a look at the map. Okay, no. Okay. Maybe you found Ukraine already, and you can see the yellow spot, it's Europe. So Ukraine is somewhere there. It's in Europe. You may find India there on the map and see where we are geographically. Okay, let's move to the next slide.
They already have actually done some homework about it. Okay, I told them just to find out the Ukraine and about the things. You can ask them.
Okay, great. So how can I check that they know? Okay, so next one, please. Stereotypes. Yeah. May I ask, Arvind? Maybe it will be easier for you to ask somebody to read at least, sentence by sentence.
Okay.
It's a description of Ukrainian people.
Right. So anybody from you, will anybody read it? Can you read? Okay. There are 4 participants. 2 participants raised the hand. Okay, Pragati, please read it.
Ukrainian, first, a person of descent, second, enjoy music, and many perform in groups and chorus, is the most popular sport of Europe. Fifth, costume large amounts of. Sir, I can't see.
That's the thing actually you have to identify.
Okay, good job, but actually I should have told you before that instead of pictures you should name the words. So enjoy music, music, music. What picture is it about? Which musical instrument is it?
Guitar.
Guitar,
Yeah,
Guitar.
Guitar.
yes,
Guitar.
it looks like a guitar, but it's not. It's
Bandu.
bandura. Yes, exactly. It's bandura. Okay, so playing bandura and many perform in. Uh, can you name the word? So the picture in what kind of groups? What this person is doing?
Dancing.
dancing,
Yeah, exactly.
Dancing.
Great.
Dance.
Yeah. Good. Number 3. What kind of sport is it about?
Football.
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 Yes.
Football.
Yeah. Good. So yeah, you should say football is the most popular sport. And number 4. What can you see? That
Something
Bread.
food.
Bread. Bread.
food, but bread is
Bread.
where? Bread is
Bread.
where? Bread is somewhere. How do you call this kind of box?
Is
Where
it
you put
pasta?
Something food.
bread
Is it
basket.
pasta?
Yeah, bread basket of Europe. Okay, number 5. Amounts of what do Ukrainian people consume? What do they eat?
Potato.
Potato.
Potatoes.
And
Potato.
kasha.
Potatoes
Kasha.
and kasha. Yeah. And the last position, known for their strong what?
Family.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Family ties.
Family.
Family.
Yeah.
Relation.
Okay.
Family
Very
ties.
good.
Relation.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's about Ukrainian people. There are some stereotypes. I cannot say that we eat kasha every day, but mostly it's true. What about you? Which instruments do you play?
Cricket.
Tabla.
What do you say? Is it
Football.
cricket?
Cricket. Hockey. Hockey.
Okay, okay,
Football.
hockey, football, hockey. It's about sport.
Basketball.
Table tennis.
Hockey.
Cricket.
Football,
Hockey is our
cricket.
national sport.
Okay, thank you. But I asked you about instruments, musical instruments.
She is
Which
asking about
Guitar.
which instrument.
Harmonium.
Tabla.
Veena. Sitar.
Harmonium,
Guitar.
harmonium,
So many
Tabla.
instruments you play.
Flute.
Thank you. Say flute even. Okay. Thank you. Arvind, let's move to the next slide, please. And here you can, do you know the name of this footballer? He's a star.
No.
He used to be a star, Shevchenko.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, but Cristiano Ronaldo is not from Ukraine. Yeah, you know the names of other stars, football stars, right? Okay, this one is from Ukraine and it's Shevchenko. Okay, next one. Next one, next slide. 40 people. Okay, transport in Ukraine.
Trains, buses.
So, do you recognize some kinds of trends? Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, thank you. What this map stands for? What kind of transport it represents?
The road,
Can you help?
the roads of Ukraine. Roads of Ukraine.
Track of train in Ukraine.
No,
Yes.
it's
Transportation
not
of
in Ukraine.
Ukraine.
You can read.
Transportation
Transportation. Track of
No, no, no.
particular
And
Transportation of Ukraine.
Ukraine. Way of Ukraine.
track
Transport
of
not in
particular
Ukraine.
vehicle.
Yeah, it's transport, but not in Ukraine. In one
Transportation.
city,
Transformation.
in Kyiv.
Many ways to transformation.
Yeah. It's a map of metro or underground in Kyiv. I use metro every day, practically. When I go to work, I go by metro. This is a map. There are three lines. One is red, another is blue, and one more green. And the blue stripe is a river, the Dnipro River. So you can see how our metro system looks like. Okay, so actually it's on the left. It's it's a train. Okay, sorry, it's not metro, it's a train. What is in the center? Do you recognize this transport? The name of this transport, the red one. What is it? In the middle of the slide. How is it called? Do you have this kind of transport?
City train.
It's a tram. Yeah, it's kind of city train. It's a tram. It works on electricity. It needs electricity. Okay. What about that picture on the right, the bottom right? What kind of transport is it? Do you use horses? Do you ride on horses? Do you ride horses? Yes? Do you use horses as transport?
No.
No?
No.
Not,
No.
not anymore.
No.
Okay. In villages in Ukraine, people still use horses as transport. Cars, bicycles, and horses as well. Okay, and that yellow bus on the left is the most popular kind of transport in Ukraine, in Kyiv as well. It's called route taxi or marshrutka. Okay, so please next slide. Oh, food or cuisine. I hope you're not hungry, or you're hungry. Are you hungry?
No.
No?
No.
Okay,
No.
that is
No,
good.
ma'am.
No. No, ma'am.
Yeah, because
No.
on the left you can see pancakes, traditional Ukrainian dish. In the middle, diruni, made of potatoes. And on the right, vareniki, like dumpling with berries inside. What about you? What's your favorite traditional Indian food?
Puran poli.
Poli.
Puranpoli.
Puranpoli.
Thecha and bhakar.
Thepsa and bhakri.
Thecha and bhakar.
Okay. Strange names. And next time you will share with me the recipes, okay?
Yes.
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 Because I don't know the names of these kinds of food.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a pity. Okay, next slide, please, Arvind. So let's move to Kyiv. I live in Kyiv, And here on the left, you can see the symbol of Kiev. There are two brothers, Ki and Shak, and their sister Horiv, three brothers, sorry. And Ki, Shak, Horiv, and their sister Libit. So they founded Kiev, they say. They were first people to live in Kiev. We have the monuments like these ones, big and famous. But we have on the right, you can see a statue. It's a monument, and it's just to remember about a cat who used to live there. So I love such statues as well, he was very popular and people loved him. He was kind of stray cat, but you see, people decided to have this statue in the center of Kiev. Okay, we love pets. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, so you can see typical pictures, a typical photo of Kiev is on the left with, you can see the Dnipro, the bridge, the buildings, green slopes, and on the right, it's night. The center of Kiev, full of lights. The square is called the Independence Square. So these two pictures are typical. You look at them and recognize Kiev. Next time you come to Kiev, you will say, oh, I saw these pictures before. Okay, next picture, please. Next slide. One of my favorite places is Pizajna, LA. You see, it's me 10 years ago. Yeah, there are sculptures which are functional. So this is a sculpture of a hare, maybe, or rabbit, and you can see a bench inside. You can see inside. You can sit inside and read a book. So people go there and do that. They read books. Now they maybe use their mobile phones, but anyway, they spend time there. You can see two more people, in the wall. You can see another, a cat, and you can hide there, take pictures. So it's fun. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, yeah. It's about 4 years. Actually, it's my house. I used to live in Kiev, but now I live in the countryside, and it's my house. It's not far from Kiev, 15 kilometers, but it's another way of living, another lifestyle. So I invite you to my house. You're very welcome. Okay, next one. Yeah. Next picture. These pictures I took today. I walked around and chose some spots. So living in the countryside is challenging. To turn these logs into wood fire, wood for fireplace, because in winter it's cold, and we need to use our fireplace. So we have to do that. And actually it's hard work to chop wood. Okay, next one. We can enjoy fruit and vegetables. So you can say, do you know the name of this fruit on the left? Actually, it's a berry. Yeah, it's
Strawberry.
Tomato.
Strawberry.
Tomatoes. Yeah, yeah, good, good. Yes, yes. So they are still green, but summer is coming. Summer is here, and they are on their way. Okay, next one. Next one. Next slide, please, Arvinda. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not. No, 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 not this one. The previous one. It's not only about. Okay, yeah, petunia flowers and lilies. It's not only about practical reasons that we live in the countryside. We use the opportunity to grow something, but it's just to enjoy the greenery, enjoy the flowers, the grass. So it's not for practical reasons, it's for pleasure, to exchange feelings with the nature, to get some energy from that. Okay, and next slide, I mean, please. Yeah, it's our dog, Charles, a guide dog. He was thrown out of the car window 2 years ago, and we adopted him. He has a house, a dog house. His dog house is comfortable, but he doesn't like it because it's very hot now. So he stays outdoors and digs the ground, spoils the lawn. So he's a naughty dog. Okay, so actually that's it. Our excursion is over. And next slide, Arvind, next slide. Yeah, I invite you to our campus. You guessed the name of that KPI. You can see it at the top. It's the link to the website of our university. KPI, you can see that the full name of the university you can see on the slide. So it's National Technical University of Ukraine, Igor Sikorsky, Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. So KPI stands for Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. My students major in IT, physics, and mathematics. So you can see a campus, the main building, but it's not only one building in our university. Please, next slide. Please, next slide, Ravind, next one. Yeah, you can see the campus and all those brown spots, they're buildings. So actually it's a village, like it looks like a village in the city in Kyiv. That green area is a park where squirrels live and people come and spend time with their children, dogs, and students are also there. Each time I go from metro station, I cross this green area. So I cross KPI Park in order to go to the building which I need. Okay, you can see KPI campus, the territory where the university is. But now, because of coronavirus and quarantine, we use another campus. Arvind, please, next one. Yeah, that's it. This campus is online. and we, since March, we've been doing distance learning. Luckily, it existed before, but some changes, so it was expanded because we didn't use it that much before quarantine. Now we have to use it. Okay, so Arvind is busy taking pictures, right? And actually, this is the last slide in my presentation. Thanks for watching. You were patient. 20 slides. I promised to prepare 10 slides, but it was impossible to squeeze everything in 10 slides. I have 20 slides in my presentation. And you can see roses in front of our house. So, your questions, comments, I may say that doing distance learning like today, we had technical problems. Technical problems are very important to solve because my students, not all of them had access to the internet where they had to go. And we had to find the ways to reach them. That was the problem. But all in all, practically all my students most of my students used Zoom sessions. They used Classroom, Google Classroom, and they managed to participate in the course. Some of them were even more active than in face-to-face way of studying. Especially master students who actually have jobs, who work full-time. So Zoom was ideal for them because they could participate in my lessons. So I didn't watch the time. Arvind, you may remind me how much time we have, how much time remains.
Actually, we have not decided that much, but we can go for half an hour more than this.
Okay, thank you very much. So half of an hour I demonstrated presentation, and now you have an opportunity to talk or ask questions. I watched a video with Tati, a teacher from Argentina yesterday, and I enjoyed it very much, especially questions and the same students participated, yeah, Arvind?
Yeah, students are ready to ask questions to you, but if you want to even actually demonstrate, or if you want to even tell them something about, or if you want to actually take the questions, it depends upon you. Even you
yes,
just tell
sure.
us.
Yes, sure. I will be happy to answer your questions.
Right.
You may, yeah, you're very welcome about anything, about Kyiv, or my life in the countryside, or life in the countryside, life in Kyiv, in Ukraine, studying English, our students. So actually, I wear, you see, an embroidered blouse today, just for you, for this meeting. It's and a couple of 2 weeks ago we had Vyshivanka Day. So Vyshivanka is a traditional embroidered blouse or shirt for boys, and we wear it on holidays or just when we find it appropriate, you know. So any questions, you are very welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
listening to
Yeah.
you.
Students, now you can ask the questions, but just we will go, yes, with your hands. Raise the hands if you want to ask the question. I know you all are ready with your questions, but if you start actually speaking at the same time, then it will be Zoom jam, you know, it will be Zoom blast. Okay, so
माझ्या याच्यात एक problem आहे.
I'm just taking the names and you can ask the question. So first of all, Janvi is asking the question.
Hello, Janvi.
Hello there.
And today I would like to ask you about history of Ukraine, because there had been many invasions on India, and because of that our history is so rich. So I like to ask you about history of Ukraine.
Could you repeat the question about what in Ukraine?
Yeah, she is asking the history of Ukraine. You know, in
History.
India, it was the colonization, and maybe she is actually asking the question regarding that.
Colonization.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your question. Okay. As far as I remember from my history course in school, it was a long time ago. We had problems with the western regions. Just one second, with eastern regions. European countries had some areas of Ukraine under their control. And now, even now, we have problems with the language. So people in some regions of Ukraine, they speak other languages besides Ukrainian, and they are called minority languages, and they even have schools where those languages are studied. So yeah, in that, because of the border moved and shifted several times, and people were under, I don't know, Polish rule or Hungarian rule for some period, and that's why now they are kind of confused where they belong to. But actually, it's not a problem. I think that it's okay for one person to know some languages, and so why not? Ukrainian, I speak Ukrainian, I speak Russian, I know German a bit, and English is the second language for me. So why not? But colonization, Crimea was under Turkey for some period. So it's a complicated question. And then Russia, the borderline with Russia, it was Kuban. It used to be Ukraine, but now it's Russian territory. So it's about history, but now what we have, we have. You know, we don't want to have more. We are okay with what we have. Thank you for the question. Maybe next question.
Yes, Varad Paude.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Bharat. I have a question.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. I have a question that which is your mother tongue apart from English? Can you tell us sentences?
Could you repeat that question? Besides English, what?
Yeah, besides English, he is asking about your native language. Which is your native language, your mother tongue?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, I mentioned that. I just mentioned that.
Yes.
It's Russian, it's Ukrainian, Russian, two languages, I may say that When I went to school, we spoke Russian, and Ukrainian was spoken only in villages. But now, when Ukraine became an independent country, Ukrainian language became very important because it means that we are a separate country. We understand that we have something unique, and Ukrainian language is, is that quality we have. Maybe 20 years ago, when you go to the center of the city, you couldn't hear Ukrainian speech. But now, when you go to the center of Kiev, you hear Ukrainian language all the time. Young people speak Ukrainian, students speak Ukrainian, teachers. Not only people from villages as it was before, but now it's really popular. Songs are written in Ukrainian, films in Ukrainian. So it is really important for a country to have its own language and for people to understand that it's their treasure. So that's it. But it's okay for me to speak Russian as well. When people ask me a question in Russian, I answer in Russian. When people ask me a question in Ukrainian, I answer it in Ukrainian. When people ask me a question in English, I answer it in English. So it's okay. Thank you for the question.
That's great. Pragati Susre.
एक मला माझं याच्यात रेज हँडचा ऑप्शनच नाही राहील.
Pragati Susre.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Pragati. We all celebrated different types of festivals according to our country. In India, we celebrate a lot of festivals like Holi, Gudi Padwa, etc. The biggest festival in India is Diwali. So this is all is about India. I am very interested to know about the Ukraine's festivals. So please, can you tell us about Ukraine's festivals that you celebrated?
Thank you for the question. You know what? Now we celebrate in Ukraine lots of holidays which are international ones are celebrated, and Indian traditional festivals are also celebrated in big cities, especially big cities of Ukraine like Kiev, Lviv, Kharkiv, at nightclubs, you know. So it's kind of trendy to observe festivals of other countries. In Ukraine, actually, we have lots of holidays. We have lots of different festivals. You may choose any, but mostly it seems to me that Tati told you about festivals in Argentina as well. We observe, as far as I can see, it's Christmas. Then it's mostly religious festivals. I don't know why. Christmas, New Year, kind of, social event. Then Easter, it's a big event in Ukraine. Then Ivana Kupala is coming. It's celebrated in summer, but it's for fun. You may choose, take part in this festival or not. So you don't have to do that. And then the Independence Day, it's also a celebration, but actually you may have a barbecue with your friends in the forest. So it's up to you how to do that. For me, we have, as far as I love flowers, love flower beds, we go to Spivoche Pole. It's a place in the center of Kiev, and there is a flower exhibition there. So they prepare installations on the topic for example, great scientists of Ukraine, and they prepare flower beds about, I don't know, Sikorsky, by the way. He is famous for, actually, he invented a helicopter. So the first one to build a helicopter. Or a poet, Lesa Ukrainka, for example. So that is my favorite time of the year. It's August. I don't know what we'll have this year, but anyway, it's something special which I really enjoy. So, and young people, actually, they have their own ways of spending free time. So that's it. It depends on the age. It depends on your hobbies, on your political views, let's say. That's it. Thank you for the question. So you may choose any. Thank you. Okay, I cannot hear you, Arvind. I cannot
Yes,
hear
yes.
you.
Actually,
Okay.
Indians are very traditional, you know. We celebrate lots of festival here. Lots of means we have a festival after 2 days. Every day we have something to celebrate. And so every Indian will ask these questions to the people from outside. What are your festivals? How do you celebrate them? Because we love celebrations in India. And it is the traditional one. Actually, it is celebrated just by the rural way. Yeah.
Arvind, may I ask a question? May I ask a question?
Yeah, you can ask the question.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Do you know what happened? Something special which happened today, and it could be done from the northern part of India.
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Yoga Day.
World Music Day.
National Yoga Day.
Father Day.
Music Day.
Yoga Day.
National Yoga Day and
National
Father's Day.
Music Day.
Yoga Day, Father's Day, and
Arvind,
Today is the solar
what
eclipse.
is it?
Stop, everybody stop, everybody stop. You don't listen to the question very, clearly. The question was very clear. Oksana said there was a special, something happened today in the north side of India, not Father's.
Solar eclipse.
Surya.
Yes.
Solar eclipse.
Yes.
Eclipse.
Yes.
Solar
eclipse.
eclipse.
You enjoy
Solar
it? Yes,
eclipse.
yes, I know.
Solar
Surya
eclipse.
Grahan.
Yes, okay.
Solar eclipse.
Yeah. Yeah, lucky you. Lucky you. You know, people have lots of people have a hobby. They travel to that part of the world where they can see the eclipse. So maybe lots of I don't know. I'm not sure about this year how it's possible now about borders if they are open now. But some people wanted to go to your country to see that.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Actually,
Okay, thank you.
yes, all the students have enjoyed that solar eclipse using some instruments. Even they watch the solar eclipse in pinhole cameras and using some films and some kind of instruments also.
So each of you managed to see the eclipse today?
Yes, every student.
Really?
Yeah, actually we told from the schools also, from the teachers, how to actually watch it, and even the students know how to watch that solar eclipse. Everyone would have actually watched it.
Great. Oh, lucky you. How long we should wait till it would be possible in Ukraine? Okay, so next question, please.
Next question is from Nishant.
Okay.
Nishant?
Yes.
Your question.
I read something about the Ukraine, and I read that Odessa and Lviv is the place to visit in Ukraine. Then can you tell us what thing is famous in the city live and Odisha?
Oh, my favorite cities you named. Thank you for the question. So your question is about Lviv and Odessa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to be sure that they are good places to visit. Yeah, I went to Lviv 4 times to take part in TESOL conferences, and it's a wonderful place. It's a European city, a true European city. There are so many tourists from different countries. It's open for everyone. So it's a historical city. Lots to see and learn. Yeah, it's worth visiting. And Odessa, 2 times I went to Odessa to take part in summer school for teachers, professional development, by the way, organized by the US Embassy. Wonderful presenters, 3 or 5 days spent there. And so we went to the seaside in the morning, then we had classes. Teachers also have classes, by the way, like you do. We studied, and then in the evening we went to the seaside again. So it's a unique city. You will okay, it's really unique because it's on the seaside. It's a cultural let's say capital of Ukraine. It has its own spirit, and humor of Odessa is well known. uh, so yeah, these 2 cities are really special. Yeah, Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, but Lviv and Odessa, they say that Kiev is kind of a gentleman, and Odessa is a lady. So they're like a couple, they complement each other. So thank you for the question. You know a lot about Ukraine.
Actually,
Okay.
students just search the information about Ukraine. When I told them that our guest is from Ukraine, Oksana is going to meet you, then they just searched for the country and the information about it. So they have a lots of question for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, Pragati. Pragati.
Yes. Hi, myself Pragati. Ma'am, I want to know about
Hello.
your hobbies. Can you tell me what's your hobbies?
My hobbies.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question. Maybe uh, it's easily it may be easily guessed my hobby according to the pictures which you could see in my presentation. So all those flowers are tended by my hands, and tomatoes are planted by me. So it's one of my hobbies. It is the main hobby because actually nobody else wants to do that. I have to cut the grass. I have to look after flower beds, but I enjoy doing that. During the quarantine, I spent a lot of time on my computer, and you feel, that it is very challenging. You are stuck at your desk, inside your back, is stiff. Your eyes are, I don't know. You want to cry actually in the evening, and it's a pleasure to go outside and to work in the garden. Maybe that's why my garden looks much more better than the previous year because of the quarantine, and I had to have some rest, outside. I had no other options. I worked from home, and actually I still work. I have a group of Chinese students. They will take an exam in the beginning at the beginning of July. So we still have classes. We have Zoom sessions and class time, classroom. And class time I use Quizlet, so different ways of reaching my students. So thank you for the question. So gardening is my main hobby. I used to do beadwork, but now I unfortunately I don't have time to do that.
Thank
And
you,
reading,
ma'am.
of course. Yeah, thank you. Reading,
Okay, and
reading.
now
I love reading.
Chanchal.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm Sanchal. So
Hello.
I want to ask you that what are the laws in your country that are so weird?
Could you repeat that?
Okay. I want to ask that which laws in your country are weird?
What
In
log?
my country?
Laws
Laws.
or yeah,
Yeah, about what?
about anything.
Okay, okay. So she wants to know the laws in your countries. How are they? Are they strict or what kind of they?
The laws in my country. Um, okay, I am not an expert, but as far as I can see, um, thinking about driving, unfortunately, people do not follow the rules. They sometimes they forget about the rules, and it may cost them their lives. Sometimes people just run across the road, don't mind the traffic lights, and it's a problem. Drivers speed on the road, and yeah, it is very sad. They say, what else? As far as you know, I live in the countryside, and when you go to the forest, you often can see piles of garbage, piles of trash, and I don't know how to solve that problem, because according to the law, you shouldn't throw the garbage in the forest, but people do that. So I am sure that before complaining, before saying that the government does this and doesn't that, that somebody else should do this or that, you should think about yourself. What I do, why I throw the litter in the forest, what will happen to that litter, how many years it will take for that plastic bottle uh, to disappear, you know. So unfortunately, people violate the rules, and it's a big problem. But I hope that the situation will change. There are lots of organizations, volunteers in our park KPI. Each year, volunteers plant new trees, and they try to change the situation, because we have a problem in Kiev. Lots of construction sites appear on historical places, and it cannot be stopped. It will continue, and Kiev will never be the same. It is very sad, but what we should do what is possible for us to do. So that's it. Thank you for the question. Why do you ask that question? Are you interested in the law system of other countries?
Chanchal, why did you ask this question? What do you think?
Because I read some laws of their country, so I feel that's so weird and that laws are not followed in our country. So would I like to ask that question to her.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
She
very
tried
much.
searching some information and actually she came on laws of your country.
Great. Okay.
Yes, and now I
More
think
questions?
there is a lot of time we actually spent with each other, but we will take one more last question. And Shreya Busari, uh, please.
Hello, ma'am. Myself, Shreya. Now,
Hello
world
there.
is suffering from pandemic situation. So, I would like to ask you what is the situation there and how do you spend this time?
Okay, it's about the quarantine, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay. How I spent my time? Oh, Arvind knows how we spend the time. It was challenging not only for students but for teachers as well. My colleagues and me, we helped each other because we had lots of problems to solve. How to assess our students online. We had never done that before, and we were not sure that our university officials would approve this or that. So we managed to finish this academic year, and we managed to take exams and examinations online. And the feedback from our students was mostly positive. And I hope that this experience will help us to get started next year. Um, so, personally, me, I learned a lot. I used Skype for um, talking with my dad and sister who live in the USA, but it's completely different experience from what I had to do. I had to teach online. So uh, yeah, I learned a lot. It was challenging, but I managed to do that. I completed the course, Google Services, and we had a great tutor. So it was very helpful. It was organized by our university because teachers need help, need support. And actually, we have a great platform, a KPI. We have a kind of contract between Google, so Google Classroom. Uh, we have no limits with downloading, with keeping our documents, our resources. So that is good, and all the resources are free. So actually, that is how I spent my time during the quarantine. Besides, there were some, let's say, um, fun moments when I had to go shopping, but public transport didn't work, so I had to use a bicycle. And now I recall those trips to nearby villages, and it was great to spend 3 4 hours riding a bike. So in each situation we may find positive moments. Now I can use public transport. We wear masks. As you do, you wear masks? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Arvind also.
So yeah,
Also.
Yes.
but we can use public transport, and it's much more better. The situation better than before. So that's it. That is our life now, and we should accept it. Okay, thank you for the question.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
also Oksana,
My
thank you very
pleasure.
much for spending time with us on our actually request. And I hope actually you again will spend time with us in Zoom. At least you will give us 1.5 hour again on actually your desired topic. You will actually take a lecture also. you even actually our students are very interested to just meet the people and to learn from them. They already prepared to ask the questions from last 2 to 3 days. They searched, they googled the information, they find out some actually material, they prepared the questions to ask. I know in front of me there are many students have raised the hand still. More than 15 hands are there. It means there are 15 questions still to ask, but I know it will be difficult actually to go ahead. Maybe in the next session we will take the answers of them. I'll collect all the questions and send to you, and you can cover them in the lecture also. So we will have again a meet, one more meet. We request you. I think it is really a memorable thing. Up to the last, there are 68 students still, and actually everybody is enjoying, I hope. And it was a very nice communication for me also, because my students asked many questions and they actually joyfully communicated with you. It was really a nice thing for me. What do you say?
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, I am happy about the ability to speak. Actually, just for students to know that when we connected the first time, we didn't have any problems. But then when we connected the second time, the problems, started popping up. In our life with technology, we should solve problems and find the ways to get connected. So, first of all, I am happy about the fact that we managed to talk. Thank you, Arvind, for demonstrating my presentation and for guiding that dialogue, because when 30 people answer at the same time, it's kind of challenging. And yeah, so many interesting questions. I didn't expect so many. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Ukraine. And actually, Arvind, you may collect the questions and send them to me. And then next time I will prepare maybe material related to those questions. Okay, and actually, how many countries you're going to cover? 18 altogether. So you had Argentina, Ukraine, and how many? So I will wait.
Yes, I'm taking the advantage. I'm taking the advantage. This is the second one, Ukraine. I'm just actually asking others to come.
Aha.
Yes.
So I will have to wait till my turn will be. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to come actually immediately on next Sunday. At least actually,
It was a joke.
yeah, at least one teacher should be continued. He has to take two continued lectures. That is better.
Yeah, I think that it will be fair for other teachers to present. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, you will send me the questions and I will prepare the answers, and then we'll agree about the next meeting.
Yes.
So thank you, all of you. I hope you'll enjoy your summer vacations, which are coming. Yes, I mean, anyway, we will have summer vacations time to reflect on our experience and to prepare for the next school year. So thank you very much. I've never been to India, but I heard about this country and I read about it. My friend visited India and she shared with me the pictures and her impressions. She went there with her personal guide and she was impressed. It was really a trip of lifetime.
We invite you to India. We all will host you. Don't worry. We will show you the whole India, the diversity. So this is just the invitation from all of my kids, all of my students.
Thank you very much. When I plan my holiday, I will turn to you.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks.
So Thank you and bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye from Ukraine. Bye bye.
Thank you, Miss
Ma'am.
Oksana.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss Oksana, for
Bye
coming.
Thank you, Miss
bye.
Oksana.
Bye,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Oksana, for coming. Thank
Bye,
you
ma'am.
so
Bye,
much.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.